Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. If you're just coming off of genkidamatsuri, I know you are hyped as well as I am. We got Dragon Ball Super back. We got the Dragon Ball Beerus, basically the Dragon Ball Super remake. Season 1, I guess you could say, is getting somewhere dropped down the line in 2026, I believe. Then we've also got the announcement of the Moral, well, slash Galactic Patrol Saga. So we're getting what we need, okay? I'm just hyped to see Dragon Ball Super returning and just Dragon Ball being as explosive as it is going into 2026. This is exactly what we've been waiting for years, like more than 5 years. So all the leakers out there who kept saying Dragon Ball Super is coming back, Dragon Ball Super is coming back, it's finally back. Okay, I'm ready and I'm happy and I'm just excited that we get to continue on just enjoying this series. So brings me today here. We have the HM/Air Super Saiyan 2 Gohan sets. Now, I have been waiting for these things for so long, almost 2 years. I love this studio, both studios. I love the quality of work they do. I don't know what snagged them along the way to not be able to release this sooner, because we've seen prototype images and they all look great and they still look amazing. I don't know what the snag was, but whatever it is, I hope it never happens again. I trust the process, but man, that was a long wait. But anyways, here we have our Super Saiyan 2 Gohan sets, and as you can see over in the left side of the corner, we have about 4 different sets here. So we do have just the main head sculpt in the back there. We have a Pearl Scent translucent version. Then we have 2 Windswept versions, and we have a Beast Gohan variant there. Additionally, they did give you a battle damage set. So it isn't like this one here, but it is battle damage to kind of represent his initial moment when he's in Super Saiyan 2 and from that fight onward before he gets to the full battle damage like that. Then, on top of that, you are going to get these little lightning effect pieces here, and they're not really like pop-on pieces like per se, like how Revoltech does it. You just kind of stick them onto the figure however you really want, as long as they have like some access to like little spots in the joints and whatnot you can clip them onto. And then of course we get this extra faceplate. I believe if you bought all the sets, or I think there's a way you could have got it if you just bought something independently. There was a different ways about going to get all this stuff, because again, it got delayed. Plus they threw in bonus accessories for some of these, which we'll get into in a moment. But the crux of this is going to take me a while to go over. So let's dig into swapping these parts out. Now, they're not necessarily the most difficult things to do. However, mine did cause me a little bit of frustration. So let's break it down. First things first, you're going to need hot water, like really hot water, like really, really hot water, or a hairdryer, something to keep heat constantly in motion while you're doing this. So as you can see here, I did have to cut the back piece a little bit there, but you don't want to cut it to where you're like ripping it off. You still want to keep some of the actual joints and all that stuff inside, like the peg holes for the actual back of it, so that way when you slip on the battle damage gi here, it just fits into place like normal, because they literally made the mold more or less the same. So you want to try to be very careful about it. That also goes into with the sash. Now you'll see here, there's a little hole in there. It is glued somewhat on, you know, with the Tamashii version, so you will have to very carefully peel it out that way so it fits on here. Now it is going to be somewhat of a floating piece, but it is going to be still stuck in the little peg hole, so it's not going to move too much. Think of like Orange Piccolo Beast Gohan, something of that nature back then from when their initial release was. That's pretty much how they kind of did it here. But that's not even really the most difficult part. So put that back. Again, all you're going to need is hot water for that. And if you have like an X-Acto knife, I would use that just to get in the tiny grooves so you're not going to accidentally cut anything crazy. Just be slow. That's really the best part about it. Just be slow, take your time. There's not really any rush. Now, when it comes to the arm sleeves, oops, I'm dropping stuff. We've got the battle damage ones there. And here's the normal ones. They are going to have labels on them, so you should be able to easily find and put them on. It's really just slipping up over the cover. It's really nothing crazy. They don't really have any grooves on the HM ones, so you're not going to have to worry about that. As long as you have it in here like this, you'll be fine. It's not going to get in the way of any articulation. You just pop these back in, right there. And all you have to do is align it. I like to make it like this, so it's easier for me to push down. But however you fancy doing it, just take your time with it. This stuff is really not difficult to change. It's just annoying to a degree when something doesn't fit, which we'll get into here in a second. The hardest part probably for you is figuring out how to take the leg apart. Luckily enough, Tamashination's made this really simple. So here you have the joint that goes in at the connector at the crotch piece. What you will notice about mine is it is a little off, like in terms of the plastic pieces not being connected. I might glue it back down, but I don't know if the other one is like that. I'll have to open them up later, but yeah, it's kind of coming off, which it's soft plastic. It's fine. It's not really bothering me until, of course, like it starts getting all disjointed and looking off when I'm posing it, but otherwise, I mean, it's fine. So this might come off for you if you have it in hot water, just because it's going to loosen it up a lot. Otherwise, you just want to take this piece off here. That's what goes right there. And you're going to notice this piece right here. This usually sits at the top like this. Okay, don't take it off yet. If you have like some pliers, maybe some wrap around it so you don't get these little grooves digging into the actual mold and leaving markings. I mean, if you don't care, I mean, it kind of looks like battle scar or battle damage for it. But what you'll need to really pay attention to is the knee joint here. So you see this hole, that is where this slides into. You're gonna want to push it down. Now I used like a little bit of paper, and then I pushed it down using my pliers, just like that, and I pushed down and it came out the bottom here. That was simple enough and easy to do. Again, hot water is going to be your best friend, or a hairdryer, something just to keep it heat, make it easier for you to move things around with the plastic so it doesn't break or whatever. Now, if I can grab it, the knee joint is not really like a knee joint here. It's just kind of like a pad. You can easily take them off, put them back on over and over again. I think I'm missing the shape, you know, something like that. There we go. So it's just like that. You can easily take it off. And like so. And what you'll do is you'll grab the one that came with your HM set and you'll just insert it like so. Now, I waited to do this after I had this main piece in here, which you can see like so. It just goes right there, just like that. And what I'm facing right now in terms of difficulty is getting this leg on. Now, it wasn't difficult on the other side, and that's because the peg hole matched perfectly. Now, I'm not saying that there was a mess up here, but this peg hole for some reason just is not taking it. You know, I don't know. I have to go in there and adjust some things, but upon trying to squeeze it down, it just doesn't want to work. So be wary of that. Again, hot water is your best friend. Don't have it on me at this moment in time because I'm trying to fix that. But yeah, it should be a slide and just plug and play type of thing. If not, again, you might have to do some adjustments in there. But I haven't really heard too many people have this issue, so maybe it's just mine. We'll see. For now, though, that's really it. Once you put that in there and you get everything assembled, you put the knee pad thing back in there. Then what you're going to also do is by the time you've either gotten this piece on there or if you're up to where you should be here, having these parts assembled like so. And I'll show you this again so you just see the assembly. You heard that snap and pop. So now the leg is almost fully assembled. What I don't like about it though is that it still shows like the purple, which I mean, it's fine. It's third-party product. I'm not expecting them to do a whole new knee joint, although I think that would have made more sense. Just because you see the flesh in the front and then on the side you still see kind of that purple, you know, joint right there, which I mean, if you really care about it, you know, it is what it is. But regardless, anyways, getting back to it, there also is going to be this that you need to take off for the Gohan. So I don't want to take it off right now because it was a pain to put it in the right way, but you're going to have to either grab your pliers, hot water, put these in hot water first. You can grab it, slowly pull it out, wiggle it, and all you're gonna do to get it connected into the new one is just match the shape. That's all you're doing. Match the shape, firmly push in, and you're good. You don't have to do anything else. All you need to do is take it off at the skin piece here. If you want to take the whole shoe off, I mean, you can do that. It's a little tight on mine. I'm not gonna mess with it. I think I can do it on this one. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, if you want to take the shoe off first, so you can just get the skin piece of it off and wiggle it out, you can do that too. But you could just leave it on there too if you want to do that. Either or, it's kind of up to you how you want to go about it. Again, the main part of it for me that was difficult was getting this piece in to this, because it just keeps popping out. So I think that there's something I'm gonna have to do to drill either a little further in, or I'm gonna have to clear some of that plastic out around it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. At the end of the day, this is my first Gohan copy, which I was gonna turn into this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan anyways, so I might just glue it down permanently because I have this other one here. So we'll see what I do. But for now, that's kind of my issue with it. But I don't think it's a widespread issue. So when it comes to assembly, like I said, it's gonna be pretty much fine. There is this little tiny skin piece in here that is not gonna come already attached. All you're gonna do is match the shape, push it in, and now it's in there. So at the end of the day, you'll have a nice Super Saiyan 2 Battle Damage Gohan, or base Gohan, whatever you want to use it for, and it will look really, really nice. So we're gonna put this Gohan away for now. I'm gonna put all his other little parts back in here really quick. All right, side by side, just so you get an idea. I did squeeze it back in, but like I said, it's popping out for me, so yours might not have that issue, but for me, that's what I'm dealing with. But side by side, the colors match really, really well. Just the battle damage alone looks really, really cool. I am excited for whenever Tamashii will do an updated version of this though, because golly, man, I just know it's gonna look so good. And you don't really need this kit. I'm just saying you don't really need it, but it is nice to have if you're interested in battle damage stuff, you know, with the Dragon Ball line, as we don't typically get that stuff often. So this kind of thing is really cool. Anyways, I'm gonna put him in the back because I don't trust that he's going to keep that leg on. So we're gonna put him back there if he will stand up, because I don't trust your leg, bro. Okay, so I'm sure you're wondering too, how do I put these lightning effects on the figure? It's up to you at the end of the day. I mean, you can really just be creative and try to get it scene specific or whatever, but they fit into grooves, or they just kind of fit in place, like they're a little flexible, so you can kind of get them into little nubs here, like in the shoulder area or across the body, you know. Just play with it. You don't really have to do too much. Simple as that. There's not really any one way to put these on, is basically what I'm saying. They're not like the event exclusive Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Vegeta auras where they have like designated peg holes, is what I'm saying. So do it however you feel makes it stand out, look cool, whatever you want to do. But this is just me throwing them on in like 30 seconds. So do whatever you want with them. It is nice to have them. I'm pretty sure there's some knockoff ones that you can also get if you want them in different colors. I think those are on Aliexpress. If I find a link for them from like a good store, I'll put them down below. But yeah, that's what they look like. Pretty easy to put on, and they're not just Gohan centric, so you can use them for literally any other character, so long as they're not gigantically huge, aka Broly. Anyways, let's get into the fun part, all of the head sculpts. So I'm gonna start with 006. That is the normal, non-windswept, non-pearl scent, just the standard matte Super Saiyan 2 Gohan head sculpt. So let's get some of the faces and I'll show you what those looks like close up, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so first things first, we do have this bonus hand effect that came with 006. Again, a lot of these different bonus accessories you'll see in a second are coming from the fact that they were delayed. So, you know, if you were able to get your pre-orders in or able to secure any stock right now, you should be getting these. Otherwise, I think there are other options in case you're not able to get the sculpt, because I'm pretty sure this thing sold out relatively quick once they heard, you know, the thing was releasing. Not to mention, it's just been on pre-order for literally a year and a half. There are there's recast if you want to look into those. I think one is No New Custom. I'll put it in the link or link in the description below if I can find one on Aliexpress. I just know for a fact it's on ZionU right now. But first head sculpt to look at here, again, just the normal standard Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, non-windswept. Here's him with the smiling smirk expression, and just, my god, man. Their work is freaking amazing. I can't like hype that enough. Like, their work is great. Even if it's not manga specific, anime specific, I just love how it comes out. I love the material of the hair. Like, it's super flexible. You're not gonna really hurt yourself putting these on. Not to mention, you're really not gonna have, in my opinion, you're not really gonna experience them breaking, and they're relatively flexible, so you can really put them on most pegs. That is one thing I love about them, is just that flexibility with the material. So let me change the face out. We're gonna go through about 4 more faces real quick. And lastly here, this is by far, I think, one of their like most detailed faceplates they've done so far. You can tell with like the face printing there, with the tears coming out, the blood, like it all just looks really, really nice. I'm gonna try to move my light over just a little closer so you can hopefully really see those details. Let's see. Yeah, that looks just incredible. And I mean, I know the RE custom DKO versions are going to come out. I forget what the combined name of them is for this project, but I don't know, I just really love this, and I'm curious to see how the RE custom one looks in hand. But man, I'm an HM glazer, air glazer, I'm sorry, they look so good. Let's move on into the pearl scent translucent one here in a second. Now for 007, you are going to get this bonus accessory of the senzu bean bag with a hand to hold that. Now, what's interesting about these compared to some of the other, senzu bean holding hands we've gotten, it actually can come off. So it's not necessarily stuck on there, which is interesting, because it means you can put whatever you want him to hold that he can in that hand. So he's got a little bit more versatility there, but also this is very, very flexible. I still would be very cautious about using any force on that. I want it to rip, but yeah, pretty cool thing here. Let me put it back on there and then we'll get to the head sculpt. All right, so we have the translucent or pearl scent kind of head sculpt, which I am not really a stickler for. I mean, this looks great, don't get me wrong, it looks amazing. I usually just don't care about these ones. I'm more for the matte color, just for consistency's sake across all of the different head sculpts we've gotten from Tamashii and other third parties. But this thing, it looks incredible. I think this one pairs a little bit better with the actual SHF faceplates, just because of the colors, which, in case you're wondering, yes, everything is cross-compatible. I mean, obviously not the 2.0 back there, but everything from the new Super Saiyan Gohan from Tamashii Nations and all of these faces, plus if you got any of the other faces from their previous Super Saiyan Gohan set, all compatible. So you have well over like 20 faces, if not about 20, that's probably more like 15, somewhere around there, 10, 15 faces that are all interchangeable. Now there are some duplicates, in the sets I have, so you might be missing out on 2 of faceplates instead of having them be unique or whatever, but still, you have well enough options to make your Gohans look amazing. And the fact that they're cross-compatible is just an added bonus. So I really appreciate that. And just so you guys can see, like, it's the exact same, don't you love when things fall? But as you can see, they're the exact same in terms of their build, which not the first time we've seen this happen. And I hope it's not the last. They did this with their Beast Gohans. As you can see, they really like to make sure you can still use the Tamashii Nations products at the same time, which I value that a lot, because the Tamashii Nation stuff is not bad, but sometimes, obviously, there could be better stuff like manga equivalent looking sculpts, which is just phenomenal. But also, let me show some of these on here really quick on this new sculpt. All right, and then just in comparison to the other sculpts, so the other 4 back there, these are a tad more, hard, but they're still rather flexible. So I mean, you shouldn't really have any problems. You are going to notice it's harder to get these faces, both the ones that come with it and the SHF, into these, just because again, it's a little tougher. And I'm doing it with no hot water or heat at the moment. So if you want to try doing it that way, I'm sure you're going to have a much easier time than me doing it without that right now. But this is me just showing it is cross compatible. You can put them in there. Again, it's just this sculpt is going to be a little harder out the gate. So probably run some hot water through it when you have the time. But let's show off the other faces that do come in this set. And somewhere along the video, if I haven't already, I'll probably put something here showing what each set is supposed to come with in case I'm out of order a little bit. And lastly here we have their, in my opinion, second most detailed expression here. You could argue is probably the top one, but I still think the one with him, shedding a little bit of tears there, it is quite good. But here you've got that yelling one, and it just, oh man, it looks so great. Like, I can't describe how amazing it is. It just, in motion and poses, pictures, it pops so well. Plus just the fact that you can use it again on the regular non-battle damage one, and you can use it before, like this pre-transformation on the other head. Matter of fact, let me show that real quick. I'll put it right there because I think I just took a picture of that one. But it just looks amazing. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into the windswept ones, which they don't really have too much. They're windswept head sculpts, but yeah, let's get into those in a second here. And we do get 2 different sets of windswept sculpts here. They are not exactly the same, which I initially thought that they were like going to be mirrored to each other left and right, but they are very different. So that's really nice to see that they took their time to make these different sculpts, and I'm sure that they're representative of certain manga anime moments to look like that same specific thing, especially with maybe like the final, I don't know why I'm saying final Kamehameha, the father-son Kamehameha. I'm sure that one of these is going better for that. But these also, they look, they look good. I just don't really use this stuff, and it's not because I don't really like it. It's just I don't really find the time to utilize all these windswept head sculpts. Like I'm remembering the one that came with Superhero Broly, for example. I have not touched that one for Gohan, and I don't know, like, how long has it been since that figures came out? That whole time. I'm sure others have, but I just typically don't use them. But they do look nice. They do come with more of expressions looking off to the side, so it's not anything super crazy. But at least you're not getting, you're not forced to have them, right? Like, I know people really don't like getting those 3 faceplates in those $30 sets for, like, for example, the UI head sculpts. Which, if you haven't seen, there is supposed to be another third-party DKO doing another set of UI head sculpts, except 8 expressions, so we'll see what that looks like soon. But yeah, looking off to the side, smirking, looking off to the side, stern, as well as looking off to the side, stern, to the right. And let's talk about this one here. This is more or less a bonus, so it didn't really come with like one particular set, but this is the same yelling expression, obviously looking off to the left here, doing that father-son Kamehameha pose. So yeah, it's great. You have so many good options here on top of just the ones that already come with the SHF. Obviously though, there is a noticeable color difference. So I mean, if you can get over that or find a way to recolor these to match whatever you want to do, then you have even more options. So it's kind of the best of both worlds there. Now we're gonna jump ahead. I know I didn't really spend too much time on the windswept ones, but that's why, because they're windswept head sculpts. We've got our very interesting one here. We've got our Beast Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. In another timeline, somehow Gohan unleashed his potential and unlocked the Beast Gohan mode, whatever he unlocked this mode somehow at the age of whatever he was in the Cell Saga. I don't know how that would be possible, but he did it here. And it really is just a copy of the faces we have, so it's not anything too crazy. What is cool about it though, if I can open the box, you do get a mini special beam cannon hand, which I'm absolutely stoked for, and you get a mini special beam cannon effect, and it plugs right into the actual fingers, and it's not gonna pop out or anything like that, but it looks really freaking dope. So let me put that on Gohan real quick. All right, there he is. Beast Gohan Cell Saga Edition, I guess. That would be pretty freaking crazy. I know a lot of people probably won't really care about this particular set. It's just a cool what if at the end of the day, which I'm sure you've seen all the different fan art since the inception of freaking Beast Gohan. There's definitely been art of this, just like there's been art of Devil Artemis, I think, Cell with hair underneath his helmet, stuff like that. It's always just fun to see the community participate in stuff like this. But yeah, just a nice option. I do really appreciate this effect though. I mean, it can go a long way because yeah, I mean, what's stopping Gohan from having tried to learn Special Beam Cannon at his youth during the Cell Saga? That would have been friggin' dope to see. But also, let's go over just the other two phases again. They're not anything crazy. They are more or less just a copy of what we've got in the other sets. So another yelling, and then another stern right there. So you get 3. I think they could have stretched it to 4. Personally, I think they could have given him the grading face just so you get the all-encompassing set of each emotion in battle fighting sense. But yeah, that pretty much is everything there so far. And you're probably wondering, well, why do you have the 2.0? Yeah, why do you have the 2.0 Gohan back there if you're not going to do anything with him? That's a good question. So I am going to live showcase and see if this actually looks good with these HM sets. So we're going to take all of this off. Obviously, this Gohan's aged a bit, but he still looks rather cool. A little obvious difference in the skin tones there, but I mean, it is an older sculpt, older mold. Not going to judge it too harshly. And there we have it. We have the HM Air Beast Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan sets here, and phenomenal. I mean, look at that on the 2.0. Like, I like to tell a lot of people the 2.0s still are not, they're not the worst. They're not necessarily all outdated. I mean, they still look pretty decent. Sometimes they just need another head sculpt boost. However, that's not to say we don't deserve those upgrades, okay? Because they definitely are looking freaking banger. But this right here, I could live with this for another year, okay? I'm not gonna lie. This head sculpt alone kind of saves the sculpt for me on the overall mold of this Gohan body. But again, I'm just happy that these things are finally out. And if you didn't see the news, the Ultimate Gohan sets and the Gohan Black is almost upon us. At least by February, March seems to be the estimate so far for it. We got finalized photos and they just look freaking amazing. And I will say, if I had one critique when it comes to HMs, like, well, HM and Air when it comes to their like gritting teeth expressions, is I kind of wish that the teeth were more noticeable in those. Let me see if I can find one. Like, that's a very random critique, I know, to have, but it really kind of just looks like it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, but like, you want that line to be a little bit more noticeable for the teeth separation there. And that's just a mild critique. Like, I don't really care about that in the long run because, again, I'm not looking at that every time I take a photo. But when I do look at it up close as in a review, it is something I notice. But regardless, if I had to give any rating for these, like, this is a solid like 10 out of 10 for me. They just look so good. The quality is always amazing. I am a HM Air Glazer. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Their things are freaking amazing. Ari Custom DKO, I hope yours is just as freaking amazing, if not also better. Because those ones I think are meant to be like scene specific to an art style, from what I gather, more like the anime or manga. There's definitely been a flurry of these different Gohan head sculpts. I mean, I think it's Custom Up. There's another one out there that was very manga accurate from a couple years back, if not last year. There's been some good ones. Either way, I'm just happy to see this community continue to flourish. I'm happy Dragon Ball's back. If you can tell in the corner over there, I'm going to turn this just a tad. You can tell I've gotten quite a few HM things, and I still have, like, I haven't used them all. I want to, but I am just over the moon. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Take a look at some of these other photos I took. I'll just kind of let them play in a little carousel here. The next couple of videos are going to be reviews, probably talking about some recent third-party stuff while I get back on this train here. But yeah, if you need any help with assembling, I'll see if there's any instructions. I don't think that there was an instruction set sent out, but just refer to the beginning of the video. It's fairly simple to assemble as long as you're using hot water or heat of some sort to get everything out. It's not as convoluted as taking apart the Gokus, for example. I know that those ones taking the boots off and everything gets a little annoying. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you're able to get these sets because they truly are freaking amazing. If I do see more pre-orders available for them or just orders in general, I will link them below. I do think Model Hobby Store does have some. I don't think they have all of them, but I think they have some. 5K Toys is set to or expected to get these in February. For safekeeping, I'm going to say March just because they've taken a little longer to get HM stuff from across the seas. Don't know why. I know they're working to see if they can get that time frame a little shorter for stuff. So hopefully that changes. But again, catch you guys later. Have a good one. Dragon Ball is back. Peace out.